Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Let's begin by talking about the weather with Jenny Powers. She's in the Outdoor Weather Center. And Jenny, everybody keeps asking you as you make your way through the newsroom, is it going to be as hot as we think? And is the smoke sticking around? So putting you on the spot here because it's hard to judge, at least on the smoke part.
Yeah, that's right, Laura, because when it comes to some of the smoke and haze, that's one of the most difficult things for us to really track. But yes, as we move forward, it is going to be sticking around at least for the rest of the day and into tomorrow morning because our winds are so light. So we are dealing with this high heat as well as the reduced air quality, which is why we are under this weather impact alert. And temperatures are looking to reach into the upper 90s this afternoon as our skies are a little bit clearer, giving us some more sunshine and leading to these elevated conditions. So as I'm out here in the Outdoor Weather Center right now, we are sitting in the upper 80s across both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And at this noon hour, already in the low 90s out toward central Washington for Moses Lake, Othello, and through Ritzville. 93 degrees currently in Walla Walla, a little bit further south to us. But we have these widespread heat advisories still in place. In fact, they are going to be in place through tomorrow as well until 9 p.m. So our weather impact alert, it is in alignment with that. Highs this afternoon, and as we move through the next 12 hours are going to be peaking by about 4 to 5 p.m., where we in Spokane are looking at highs in the upper 90s, 97 degrees. But out toward central Washington, that's actually where we're going to be seeing some more widespread triple-digit heat. I mean, we're looking at 106 for Richland in the lower Columbia Basin. Yes, the air quality is continuing to deteriorate, especially toward central Washington. A look at how the smoke is going to move, though, over the next 24 hours, coming up in my extended forecast. Laura?
Jenny, appreciate the update. We'll check in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we are tracking several fires that continue to burn all across the inland Northwest. Let's begin with this. First, firefighters are battling two fires in Boundary County, the Upper Smith and Turner fires. The Upper Smith fire has burned more than 900 acres. It's about 20 miles north of Bonners Ferry. Now, the sheriff's office says there are no evacuations in place as of right now, but it says people should be ready. The fire is 0% contained. And this is the Turner fire. So far, it has grown to about 700 acres. However, they have it contained about 79%. The good news, fire crews say it has not grown outside of the perimeter. Today, they will continue to put out the flames. And the Kaiser Canyon fire, about a mile outside of Nespelem, has burned more than 79,000 acres. That's an area about the size of the cities of Spokane and Spokane Valley combined. The fire is now about 3% contained. Level 3 go now evacuations, and level 2 evacuations are in place. Parts of Highway 155 are also closed so crews can reach the fire. The Omak Longhouse is open for evacuees. Today, President Trump attended a transfer of U.S. service members killed in the war with Iran over the weekend. Also, the president has approved a nuclear deal with a different country in the region, Saudi Arabia. Natalie Brand has the very latest.
At Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, President Trump took part in the dignified transfer ceremony of 4 U.S. service members killed recently in the war with Iran.
We're going to honor them, and one of the hardest things to do. For me, it's one of the hardest things to do as a president, but has to be done.
In a social media post this morning, the president threatened to destroy an Iranian bridge or power plant each time Tehran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military said it carried out another wave of strikes on Iranian targets for the 11th straight night.
As the fighting intensifies, CBS News has learned President Trump has approved a deal with Middle East ally Saudi Arabia that would allow the country to build out nuclear infrastructure for civilian use.
According to the Wall Street Journal, which first reported the deal, American companies would provide nuclear technology and play a central role in building the nuclear infrastructure. Saudi Arabia has long wanted to develop its own nuclear program in order to build up its electric grid, not nuclear weapons. Although Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has said if Iran developed a nuclear bomb, it would follow suit.
So what the United States gets in return right now, why this precise timing, are excellent questions. At a minimum, you could say it's a warming of a bumpy relationship that's been bumpy since the start of this Iran war.
Under U.S. law, Congress would need to review the deal, and some lawmakers have concerns about expanding nuclear capabilities in the region. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
We do have some new details today about the man accused of kidnapping his daughter over the weekend, triggering an Amber Alert. He has turned himself in to Kennewick police. Matthew Sussmulch was on the run since Saturday. The girl was found safe on Sunday, but U.S. Marshals could not find Sussmulch until he turned himself in last night. Yesterday, the Benton County Prosecutor's Office got a warrant for Sussmulch's arrest on charges of assault, domestic violence, first-degree kidnapping, and felony harassment. Sussmulch is booked into the Benton County Jail. And today we are getting a look at the report from the Office of the Police Ombuds regarding last summer's ICE protests that happened here in Spokane. They made 26 recommendations, some of which Spokane police have already started doing before the report was even published. Some key takeaways from the report highlight the effectiveness of warnings. The report noted that SPD's repeated warnings before broader munitions were deployed, but the announcements became less consistent over time.
The report confirms that repeated warnings were in fact given, but repetition is not the only measure. The question is whether people in different locations could hear the directions, understand what had changed, identify a safe route, and reasonably comply before arrests or force followed.
Another key takeaway was that tactical roles must be defined by the mission. The report says the protests show the need to identify a tactical lead. The ombuds also highlighted the lack of communication with staff and fans who were nearby at one Spokane stadium during the protest. Police received complaints about smoke and irritants in the stadium, while people in attendance said it was unclear if they should stay or if they should go. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown and Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall issued a joint statement on the report's findings, saying the police ombuds exist to promote accountability. They also added, quote, independent oversight strengthens the credibility, professionalism, and integrity of the Spokane Police Department.